like, which of these houses am I the most likely to die for? Not only is that very clear, that's definitely something that I'm qualified to judge. So these are a little bit scattershot, but I think we're gonna have fun anyway. Uh, I tried really hard to download a lot of these photos. Oh, also, thank you, Vass, and also Wolf for sending me the pictures. Uh, that made it so much easier. Uh, we're actually gonna start with the one where it was so hard for me to find a full length photo that poor Jetty was trying to. Oh, sorry, Jetty. Uh, no, I didn't ask anybody to send the pictures. You did not do something I asked you to do. I didn't even think about it until I was trying to go find a picture of Greed. And realized I have to go frame by frame through the anime, looking for a spot where I can see his full length outfit because I cannot Google it. Yes. And so, uh, and that was the moment when I was like, I thought this was going to be a lot easier than it is. Uh, but we got it. uh, or Teddy. At one point, she was like, "Do you want me just to Google it?" She's like, "I don't care about being spoiled." And she's like, "I found a picture of him." I'm like, "Okay, but is it from '03 or Brotherhood?" And she's like, "I don't know." Uh, and so, uh, uh, but I got it. All right, let me upload a file. We'll see how this works. I've literally never done this, so let me do two at once. Ooh, possibly. Okay, hopefully did that. There we go. Uh, so this is a fine, lovely outfit from our good friend Greed. Uh, this is his only outfit, actually, in as much as I'm aware, as much as I've seen. I believe I accused him of going to salsa night at the gay bar, and I stand by that. I think my favorite slash least favorite thing about all of this is how clearly the muscle shirt is does not quite coordinate with the what I can only imagine are like fuckboy pleather pants. Uh no, because that's worse. Show says that is true. I also don't care. I've decided he's wearing a shirt because I have to, for my own self preservation. Believe that he's not just going around with his shirt off. Uh, but no, I think one of the best details of this is like, okay, so later we're gonna talk about Ed's whole outfit. But isn't this like if Ed grew up and was still a huge loser, but also was like gay? Because he's got like the exact same pants for starters. Uh and also the stupid fucking vest piece. I don't even know exactly what you would call that because it's is kind of strange for literally anything that you're trying to do with it. I don't know exactly how they designed all, like, some of the outfits make perfect sense. Sexy Evil is dressed as if she is sexy and evil. Uh yeah, exactly. Like the I know that the real reason is that somebody in the artist room is like, yeah, this is cool as fuck. Greed is cool as fuck, right? And I'm like, where are you at the gay bar salsa night? Uh, including like his little bracelets. And bear in mind that after Greed broke out of prison or was broken out of prison, these are all decisions that he had to make. This is not something that was foisted upon him. Yeah, the fur collar is sending me. I was about to say, given that it's 1915, there's no way it's a fake fur collar. But given that it's 1915, there's no way that he's wearing pleather either. So greed transcends time and space. Uh, it looks horrible, and I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to like. It's sleeveless. Clearly, he's not worried about getting chilly. And it looks like he's wearing black cowboy boots. I don't know what kind of low level Brooks and Dunn situation he's trying for, but none of it is working. But none of it is working in the best possible way. And then perhaps my favorite detail of the whole Greed outfit are his fucky little sunglasses. Uh yeah, I mean at a certain point, I just think he should go full matador with it. Yeah, his tiny sunglasses that cannot possibly shield anything from the sun. They're just there for fun, fashion, and self confidence. Yeah, and he wears them in a dark bar. He thinks he's very cool. And it's not like, this is not Interview with the Vampire. It's not like he has a weird eye color that he has to. This is not Blue Eye Samurai. There is no reason he has to actually hide his eyes other than Greed thinks he looks so cool. In his desire for conquest, for women and fame, for all this is his success outfit. This is how he feels he is going to. Yeah, but he has no reason to hide his eyes. If he had a reason, I would. Well, I wouldn't take it back, but I would have more. I would have more understanding of the situation. Yeah, the shark teeth are a way bigger problem. And also notably, although Greed does not get along with the other critters, notably none of them really seem all that concerned about looking normal. Sexy Evil is tits out all the time, in a way that other women in the story are not. And so we can lead ourselves to believe that that is not normal for a woman to wear in a mistress. And yet here she is. I do have to wonder how the uniform color for the crypt. She is always breasting boobily down the stairs. Uh, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people really like Sexy Evil, and so I have to presume that she does something later in the narrative. But yeah, as far as I can tell, all she has done so far is be sexy and evil. Uh, so yeah, Greed, I would never wear this outfit. There's no amount of money I don't think that you could give me, to wear this outfit. Oh yeah, her stupid cloak when she's pretending to be Ishbalan, when they're both doing a really terrible job. Uh, and I don't want to lay too much at the feet of a disenfranchised people on the run. But I feel like you would recognize those two. Uh, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Yeah, exactly. You're not a dude trying to blend at a gay bar. Uh, but yeah. So, Greed, not an outfit I would wear. I think the execution is poor. I don't know. I can't even say the idea is poor because I'm not entirely sure what the idea is. Uh, Given the fact that he hates his fellow critters, I love that he decided that he also needed to be in the monochromatic palette. Uh, But yeah, no, Greed, terrible outfit, terrible execution, terrible everything. I guess the only nice thing I have to say for him is his pants fit him well, despite having a really brutal inseam. So, congratulations, evil tailoring service. You've done really well on this day. All right, next up. Eh, okay. Okay, next up is a really fun one that I really like, hypothetically. Let's see if I can get it to. Yeah, how do you like sexy evil? Uh, she is indeed sexy and evil. Where did this picture get saved? Will it not let me do this? Okay, hang on. I might have to just paste it. Yay, okay. Okay, so this is from Mad Men. Uh, and this is a fantastic outfit for Mad Men. Although it is when we are coming out of what I would consider my era of fashion. So most of what I wear is not on the nose, but extremely, extremely informed by the mid 50s to mid 60s. Uh, and by and large, that is how Betty dresses. Is in that exact style. Whenever I am watching the show, those are usually the clothes. That's usually the clothes that I covet. Uh, is what Betty wears. Uh, it's all very cupcakey. It's all very yeah. It's all very traditional. It's really. It's got a lot of movement to it. And almost a cheerfulness, which is funny, of course, because Betty is absolutely miserable all the time. I rewatched the first season. I just got through the first season. I had forgotten how fucking good the show is. Uh, Definitely written from a different time of TV. Uh, and so there are a lot of things that it never tells you directly. Uh, you have to start figuring it out. You have to start figuring it out for yourself. Number one. Uh, Number two. I feel like, of course, I can't go back. So part of the reason I've started tagging my asks about Full Metal Alchemist with where I was in the show when I answered them is I wish I could go back and ask myself who watched this the first time. Uh, what oh yeah, she's wearing them super tight. She's wearing them insanely tight. They have a lot of the women's outfits tailored much much tighter than they actually would have been worn. Uh because you can't do anything that way. Some of Joan's outfits straight up do not fit her. In a way that I haven't seen yet if they're doing like a character thing with it, but there's a couple outfits that she wears over the course of the show that I'm like, that doesn't fit you. That is there is no way you could sit down in that outfit. But yeah, it's also very noticeable on Betty too, if you know what you're looking at. Now what I really like about this is giving sort of a suggestion of the mod era that is coming down the pipe that very much is not identified at all with her. Uh and what I really love about it is it makes her look almost like a different person. You don't think so much about how makeup and clothing inform how people think about you, unless you are the kind of person that thinks about this all the time. And most people are not. And that's not a dig, that's just a statement. Uh because clothing can change so much. I always jokingly call clothing lying with fabric. Because for example, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, "Well, like I'm basically square." Because I am. I have an extremely to put it nicely, I have an athletic body type. To put it not nicely, I'm basically a square. I don't have much of a waist. And so uh every time I look like I do, it's because I am creating the illusion uh with fabric. It's just lying. So it's so interesting here how when we see Betty instead of in, a lot of times when she goes out, she'll wear blues and golds and things that are traditionally supposed to be reflective of what a blonde should wear. She's wearing this dress that would be almost just this side of severe for her. And I love the shoulder detailing and the deep V and the way that it gives this suggestion almost of like a dangerous road. And then she's got the long necklace, which is of course designed to draw the eye downward across the body. Really, really interesting for her. And I love the hair. I have never really been able to. Yeah, it's so absolutely separate from her. Um, and I've never really been able to pull off any of those high updo styles. What she's wearing is not quite a beehive, but it is suggestive of it. I've never really been able to wear them. My hair, even when it was long, my hair is very, very fine, and it falls out. Uh, so I wore a hairpiece for my wedding day. I literally was like, no, I'm going to pin in my hair and call it a day. I'm not going to stress myself out like that. And it looked great. Uh but oh yeah, she's absolutely wearing a piece. It actually used to be very very common in a way that I wish it still was to wear hair pieces that match your hair or came very close to. So you could pull like I have a ponytail that when I pull my hair back in a little ponytail there's like a clip that like goes around the hair and it does a really good job of faking like I have a cheer ponytail. If my hair were longer, there's even more pieces that I could wear, but once I cut my hair short, I never wanted to have it long again. So, but yeah, my grandmother used to wear wiglets and pieces all the time. It was very, very common. Because then you didn't have to have super long hair, and also it just made your hair easier to do. Uh, so yeah, a really interesting, really, it's a great outfit not only because it looks good, but because it's such a character divergence for her. This is the kind of outfit that if we saw it on another character, we might not even blink. This is an outfit that I would expect more to see Joan in, or something like that. Although I can't quite see the silhouette of it with her sitting down. Yeah, Megan absolutely would wear the crap out of this. It's an extremely Megan outfit. You're rewatching it too, aren't you, Vass? I've only rewatched season one. Oh, you just finished rewatching it? Uh oh, for the first time. Incredible. Lucky you. Uh yeah, I don't remember very much of it because I watched it a very long time ago and it wasn't until you had me go over a bunch of the Mad Men outfits that I was like, "Jesus, I should rewatch this show." Uh and it's really good. Or at least season 1 was really good. I do remember it falling off in later seasons. But uh yeah, so I love this outfit for her and I love the way that it makes her into a completely different woman. I think it does a lot for her on that character level. Next. Okay. Where are we gonna go next? I'm just looking at my list. No, I love it. I am merely trying to uh spice up instead of just like hitting all the Mad Men ones at once. This won't do what I want. I'm bad at computers. Who's surprised? Nobody. Okay. So here is yeah, you're not bad at computers. I, on the other hand, am bad at computers. Sadly, it's like one of those things that despite my best efforts, I always end up having some kind of problem. This is Diva's cruiser skin, is what it is called. And I understand immediately why this is sent to me. I'd forgotten about it, actually. I have made a distinct effort not to think about Overwatch for a while. Uh, so, yeah. So the thing about Diva, on the one hand, like, I can only hate on this outfit so hard, uh, because this is almost exactly what I wore to the festival on the first day. Except I wore shorts instead, that were higher waisted, and I definitely wore a shirt underneath because I am 40 years old. But yeah, I basically wore this. So I can only hate on it so much. And I actually don't hate it. There's not a lot to hate about it. It's well constructed, it's very simple. It's one of those things that anybody can do. And depending on like she's animated, so she can do whatever she wants. But depending on how you tie a shirt, you can play up or play down other aspects of your body. So like this outfit that I wore, I wish I when I saw this I was like I wish I had taken a picture of myself wearing it. So is a way that I lie with fabric. And use a tied shirt to create more of an hourglass figure where one doesn't really exist. Uh and so yeah, obviously this is actually not an outfit that is accurate to the time period that it evokes. The uh, again, it's a video game. It's a video game, so there's only so much. Yeah, it was a dark blue shirt, pink top, and like 50s style shorts. Freddy's of Pinewood, if anybody is interested in a really, really good reproduction denim company. They're not cheap, but they will last you forever, or at least mine have. I have a pair of pants from them too. Uh, but yeah, but the thing is that this kind of thing is trying to evoke an idea that didn't exist. So, now I'm not saying that no woman ever tied her shirt up. I'm sure it happened over the course of human history. But a lot of times they were actually just like shorter shirts. Shirts in general were shorter because in general waistlines were higher. So there wasn't so much of what? Hang on, I gotta go fix something for Beeb. Uh, what? I'm right here. Okay. Yeah, so what this whole outfit is doing is this sort of rockabilly faux retro thing. So I think all of us who dressed retro at all in our youth, I definitely had this dress by the way. I got rid of it years ago, but the black dress with the cherry print on it that was absolutely inescapable at the Hot Topic. Oh, I've got it. Uh, but yeah, so it's that same idea that they're trying to evoke. It's sort of this idea of weirdly quasi innocent sexiness, which is a kind of idea that I think they do a lot with Diva. I have a lot of problems with a lot of the things that Overwatch does. I don't even follow it anymore because I can't, because its capacity to hurt me is immense. Though I'm not sure it could anymore. I disregard their opinions so completely at a certain point that it stopped mattering. But one of the problems I always had with Diva, and part of the problem with Overwatch is they wanted to have it both ways, right? They wanted to they wanted to have her be, well, not just her, with Overwatch, and it may be this way with everything Blizzard does. I don't actually know. They wanted it to be an interesting fan property with interesting stories and these characters with interiority. And then they wanted it to be like a stupid fun gamer thing also, which is fine. But invariably, at a certain point, the ability to do that when you are continually adding characters goes away real fast. And so, from a storyline perspective, it started to suck after a couple years because they kept adding characters. And when you continually add characters to something, you can't do the story any justice. uh, to anyone's story, unless you have a super insane team working 24/7, 365. Uh, and so, anyway, one of the problems I had with Diva is that initially they had this really interesting setup for her where she had this very public, like, diva persona, and that was her whole story, where she she was Korea's top gamer and then, drafted essentially into the Korean military. And so it was really interesting to me, this whole, because I love this idea of like public versus private selves. I think it's very interesting. And so uh her dressing weirdly sexy all the time in all her skins would be fine for me if story wise they had developed any of this at all. But the problem is that there's only so much that you can tell me about a character being sexy for reasons. Yeah, and they keep adding. I don't even know how many characters are in Overwatch now. Uh, I'm done thinking about it. I guess it can't hurt me anymore. They could literally have Tracer suck Winston off, and I would be like, okay, sure, why not? That makes as much sense as anything else that has happened in this property. Uh, I do think they managed to single-handedly break Jetty's heart when uh single-handedly break Jetty's heart when initially it seemed like Farah was actually going to be a main character and they threw her over immediately for her mother. Uh, which was like, it is hilarious on one level. I also vastly prefer Faria to her mother. I do love how terrible her mother is. But yeah, anyway, that's not about the outfit. The outfit is one of those things that I think about like it it reads very like I'm a middle schooler going to a 50s dance and I can't afford to buy a costume. It's a very low effort uh evoke evoking retro without actually having to do anything about it. Being contemporarily sexy while essentially wearing like pedal pushers, I guess. So I have worn things like this as evidence, so I don't know exactly how hard I can be on the idea of this outfit. But I also would not give myself a bunch of points for this outfit. Uh, I would be like, wow, that is interestingly low effort for you. I hope you have a good day at the festival. Uh, Now we're going to talk about another terrible outfit. I don't have a great photo. I know that many of you, yeah. Unfortunately, I can and have worn it. So as I said, I can only say so much against it. This next outfit, however, I think we can all agree is terrible. Uh, I don't know what is going on exactly. With Ed Elric, and I'm sure somebody could have found a better picture than me. But again, I can't Google. Uh, I had to go on what I had. Yeah, the I don't know why he has a zipper pull the size of his nose, and why he thought that he's like, no, this look is fucking working. Because he does not really change it up. All that happens really is that the jacket gets shorter. I almost, for his outfit, I almost used the picture of him crushed like a bug in front of Greed. Yeah, he did at least lose the coat. Which is the coat is terrible, but the coat also is. There's something about the coat that I don't like it. I don't like anything Ed wears. I think everything he wears is bad. Maybe the T-shirt is fine. But I think everything he wears is bad, and he looks like Greed from Temu. With his like shitty little. He's short. He's got this stupid little outfit that also appears sometimes to be pleather. He must sweat through that thing like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, the boots would be fine if it wasn't for the everything else, but unfortunately, there's so much of the everything else. But the red jacket at least has a pop of color. And there's something about it that is so iconic. Uh, that even in the coffee AU, he has a shitty worn red hoodie because to me it is just an important part of the mythos. Uh, and one of the things, like within the story, I know why this exists. I know why this exists within the story. Uh, but as far as like not having a cool reveal time, it makes absolutely no sense to me that he wears gloves. Uh, we have seen that automail is something that exists and people are more or less familiar with it and used to it. And a yeah, you would think that he would full metal the zipper all the time. Know that I mean it is Ed, so he may walk into the subway expecting to get into a fight. But I mean, there's a reason that they don't want you to wear gloves while you're handling fragile documents. Doing anything with gloves makes it harder and also makes you less sensitive to what you're feeling. I don't know why he thinks he can spend his entire life doing uh see, that is giving Ed a lot more like rich interior thought than I think I am willing to give on this. See, part of the problem is that it is a I know it is a narrative thing. I know 10,000% the real reason is so that he can a la, what was it, episode 1 or 2, where he like dramatically rips off his coat and reveals how full metalled he is. That is the point of it. That is the point of the Mickey Mouse gloves. But if I saw Ed Elric every day, I would never cease calling them Mickey Mouse gloves. I would call them Mickey Mouse gloves for. See, I can believe this. More than anything else, I believe that Ed is constantly waiting for his moment to dramatically. He's never been happier than in that fucking basement, ripping off his clothing, going, "I'm the Full Metal Alchemist." I believe he does that in the subway as well. And by the subway, I don't mean like the New York system of transportation. I mean like the subway sandwich shop. Where he's trying to get like a really shitty Italian beef hoagie. Can you imagine if there was a Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse comes around in what, the 20s? I hope that uh I hope that both Ed and Roy live long enough for Mickey Mouse to come along. Exactly. Ed Elric would have loved the $5 footlong from Subway. I know he would. When I put out that thing asking about Ed's favorite fast food, I got some amazing answers. But also, all of you who said Taco Bell are wrong because I can't live that way. I can't live with that. But I do believe that he would passionately love the $5 footlong from Subway. And I also believe that he might be one of those people who measured the $5 footlong. Not because he believes in precision, not because he believes in a rich sense of morality, uh, but because he believes that people are trying to rip him off personally, and every time he gets a footlong that is shorter than a foot, he believes that it is because they believe he is too small to have an entire foot long sandwich. Oh yeah, I believe 90-year-old Ed would still go to the Hot Topic. And he would be like, finally, I can be my true self just by walking into the mall. I don't know what mall stores I think other people would do if they lived to see them exist, but I do know that Ed would go to the Hot Topic. But yeah, the outfit doesn't get better. But it's interesting that of course the jacket gets smaller, which seems to suggest that he never buys a new jacket. Now, of course, we don't know we know that that can't really be true based on like how a jacket getting smaller would work in real life. But it does fit with Ed's general like thought process. Because the only like the sleeves don't get shorter, just the jacket gets shorter, and unless Ed is truly bizarrely proportioned, that's not how it works. But the idea that he has been wearing the same stupid clothing for 5 years. What is it? 4 years? 5 years? Uh, four. The idea that he's been wearing the same stupid clothing for 4 years, uh, absolutely fits for me. Ed does not have a uniform, so he's created his own. It could have been the Amestris uniform, but then that would have been admitting that somebody else could win. I think Ed's outfit is worse than Greed's, but it might be as bad. Oh yeah, I bet Ed smells rank. The biggest mistake in 17, which is the episode where he goes home and tells everybody he doesn't have a family and that nobody cares about him and has never cared about him, and definitely none of this is his fault ever. Sorry, Winry. Uh The big mistake of the shower scene is that they don't have the water coming out just like brown. Yeah, well, the Amestris uniform accented with red, I think would look cool. We'll get into that later. Uh, Now here's one that maybe not all of you will be familiar with. Uh, it's also awesome. So this is from a show called uh now I can't come up with it. Uh why can't I Picnic at Hanging Rock. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that. From a show called Picnic at Hanging Rock, which is based off of a novel. Uh and yeah, it's absolutely this is an amazing outfit. So it takes place in Australia in the early days and her outfits in this show are incredible. They show not only uh, a really interesting level of attention to fashions of the era, but they're always magnificently tailored to her. Uh, and one of the things that this really brings out, and it is important to this scene, which I did not think about until I was rewatching the scene to grab these caps, is so this has a particular now this was in style in the late Victorian era. This military styling we've got going on there. So you've got the brass buttons and the cording and the construction of the jacket are all meant to evoke a military vibe. And this is very intentional. This is something that was very en vogue. But in the particular scene that it's in, what she's doing is she is going to this big grand party where a lot of her girls are going to be, and she is defending herself. And it is like a military mission. The girls that she's presenting, and the way that she is trying to make herself as a legitimate part of this community. And in all of her bearing and in her dress, we see that reflected perfectly. It's such an interesting choice because she has so many, like I said, she has so many great outfits. So not only does this show thoughtfulness in the mere design of the outfit itself, but in the scene that they chose to put it in, it has some of the best costuming I've seen in many, many things. One of the details I particularly like about this is if you look how the um, the gold detail work is done and the way that it's cut to her body, it helps create that hourglass shape with the little waist, which was very on vogue for the time. Uh, Really excellent detailing, and you can see how it gets smaller in the waist yet instead of going all the way through. You can see even more of the illusion there. And it's not something that you would notice unless you were really looking. But I think it's really fantastic, and I love that kind of costuming attention to detail and the way that it can change everything about it. Uh, yeah, Greed would love the glasses. I don't know about danger signs in the time period to know whether or not it doesn't even have to be in the time period, but uh, sorry, the cat couldn't get over my cord. Uh, but yeah, I definitely get the sense of defense and of being ready to go into a battle with it. And that is part of what I think is so interesting about the costuming in this show is they do it with the girls in different ways. The young girls. There's a scene. I'll have to somebody remind me when I get back. There's no way I can get this done before. Uh, there is a scene with all of the girls in their undergarments, and it is such an exceptional piece of character work, and class in the way that they just have their friggin' underwear. It is so intelligent. Uh, Absolutely love this show, and the costuming in it was particularly top notch. Oh, I would wear this all the time. I don't know that I have anywhere to wear it to. I don't think I care actually. I think I would wear this to go to the grocery store. Uh, Including the little hat. Although I have a lot of probably because I have short hair now. Although I had trouble when my hair was longer too. Getting hats like that to stick, I find to be really, really difficult. But I would certainly try. Yes, exactly. This would be perfect for her first day of kindergarten when I walk her into the classroom. Possibly also with the little greed glasses. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Okay. So here is an example of the kind of outfit that Diva's cruiser skin is trying to evoke. Uh while absolutely playing to more modern sensibilities and ideas of sexy sexiness. Uh this is more like this is a very straight across outfit for what you would have worn in the time period. I think it's cute as hell. I absolutely would wear this. Uh, I have worn outfits that look a lot like this. Yeah, I love that sleeveless collared style. I think it's very flattering on most people. Yeah, and I admit that basically I do think of rockabilly as like cheap faux retro. So that's my own bias coming into it. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with anybody can wear anything they want, and at least rockabilly is intentional, and I will give that any day. I would rather a intentional outfit that I don't like than something that looks like you don't care. Uh, so yeah, uh, I do always sound pain, but yeah, every day of the week, I would rather have somebody wear something that looks very intentional and like they are going for a specific look, and me go, wow, I think that is extremely ugly. Then have somebody schlubbing around like they're not caring. Uh, it's. I'm not interested in that. I guess. Uh, I would rather people go to the grocery store in bondage gear than sweatpants because that's a look. Uh, uh, yeah. Poor Betty. In my rewatch of this first season, one of the things that has struck me the most is how much they all suck. Number one, but also I think I feel worse for Betty this go around than I did the first go around. Uh, I think more compassion for her than I did the first time I watched it. And I dislike Joan a lot more. Oh yeah, they're all terrible though. Uh, they all suck, and that includes the women. but which is one of my favorite things about the show is, pick your favorite asshole is very much the Mad Men show. Uh, but yeah, this outfit is extremely straight across, very much, there's nothing about it that you would see this on a mom. And that's what I like about it actually, is because a lot of times when you're watching period shows, you're seeing some of the best of what a time period has to offer. There's nothing wrong with that. I completely understand and agree that it's much more interesting to see these beautiful, intricate dresses that maybe you wouldn't have worn every day. Or maybe you would only have worn every day if you were very, very wealthy. Uh, when I think of some of the really interesting suiting choices, I think about Rachel Menken, particularly in the first season, and how they have her straddle that line with some stuff that at the time period that they're working with is very, very interestingly edgy. But you see a lot of things that you would not have seen normal people wear on a normal basis. You're but this is very normal, and this is exactly the kind of idea that I'm trying to evoke when I'm running around in the summer, although mostly I wear a skirt even in the summer, because I like it and I think it's a lot cooler. But yeah, absolutely love this outfit. This may in fact be the number one outfit I would wear in this stream. In that I think I have worn it. And liked it. Okay. Let's do another really, really terrible one. Hmm. Hard to choose. Um, there's a couple of these that like genuinely inflicted some sort of damage on me, I think. Oh, hang on, my computer's about to die. Okay, it's plugged in. Yeah, okay, I know what we're gonna go with. I'll show you one of my quote unquote favorites. Uh, so yeah, you're right, Vaz, and you should say it. Uh, when I was sent this, when I saw it, I had a couple of initial thoughts. My first thought, and what I would say is still the preeminent driving thought when I see this outfit, is what in the depression related brain damage is this shit? Uh, they really were just doing whatever, weren't they? With the anime casual outfits. I don't know why he's wearing a frock coat. Uh, yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't. The thing is he could go to a gay bar, and I think they also would all look at him and be like, do you think he needs a hug or like a wellness check? Uh, yeah, maybe this is his idea of a fun outfit. This is the best he can do. Yeah, you've been in some really dark places, but you've never been here. This outfit is so mystifying. On top of being bad, it's also mystifying. Uh, like I'm just not sure about it. Unfortunately, I have seen the weird sideways cross belt buckle in a number of like anime casual outfits other than this one. So I have to assume that perhaps Japan itself were going through their gay ex-Catholic phase in order to have this many of them. Uh, Also, I'm not sure why he's wearing boyfriend jeans. That are much too. If you look at the bottom hem, they are much too long for him. Uh, yeah, exactly, exactly. Uh, so what is going on with that? Is he coming home from the gay bar and he actually stole the dude's pants? Uh, just as he was quickly leaving because the sex was over and you can't have any kind of emotional conversation whatsoever. He was hurrying out the door and accidentally grabbed the guy's pants instead of his own, and this is what we ended up with. Uh, but I keep coming back to the frock coat because the baggy pants, I can be like, okay, I see what happened here. It was a long night at the gay bar. And but the frock coat is intentional. It's not just a big coat. It's not this he's not just wearing an oversized thing. Uh yeah, he looks like he has gone in the dead of night fleeing someone's apartment. He always thinks, I think, that he looks aloof and cool, but really he just looks upset. Uh, and he looks like he went to a coffee shop and somebody gave him somebody else's order, but he didn't want to say anything about it, so he just looks grumpy all day for no reason. I mean, there's peaked lapels on the frock coat. This is a frock coat that you could actually probably put on a man in the American West in the time period with which I am most familiar. That is not a joke that I am making. You could potentially put this on one of the ERPs and it would look completely time accurate. What are you doing? I don't think, since about that time period, that a frock coat has been particularly popular. Uh, in order to carry one off, you have to be quite tall, uh, which Roy is not. He's a medium sized king. Yeah, the baristas are Hughes and Hawkeye, and they're extremely unimpressed. Hughes is actually going, "Are those my pants?" Uh, but yeah, he looks like a little kid playing dress up. The pants are Hughes and the t-shirt is Hawkeye's, and both of them are like, "Are you okay? Do we need to take you somewhere?" Uh, exactly. Stop that. Um, the I could believe that the belt and the ring are Ed's, which asks only more questions of this. Uh, and also, but I think my favorite thing is the ascot for literally no reason. And an ascot that is tied kind of like a lady's scarf. Uh, Instead of with like an actual ascot tie. Or perhaps like he was trying to do it like some sort of tie. I'm not sure exactly. Exactly. The coffee crew is dressing Roy for a date after he loses all his possessions in a fire and also hits his head really hard. And that's what they came up with. Uh, it's like stone soup, but it sucks. Uh, is exactly what's going on with this outfit. Uh, it makes him look really short. It also makes, you know, I am well aware that, you know, anime models are what they are, and so they are highly variable, even from episode to episode. Sailor Moon's terrible about this. I'm very, very aware of that. if I'm going to say something positive about this art, I will say that the general body type that seems to be represented in this art is generally how he looks in my head. Which makes it, of course, correct, as God is a woman, and more specifically, me. Uh, but uh, I'm not sure why he's choosing. Actually, this may answer the question for me about why he just wears the uniform all the time. Because if it's not the uniform, it's just this. It's just stuff that he found in the fucking laundry room that was already like tossed out of the dryer, and he's like, yeah, whatever, this is fucking fine. This is fucking fine. That's what we came up with. Is this outfit. Uh it's so terrible, and it's trying so hard all at the same time. Uh this is him just needing a civilian outfit. Uh and so he just went through and picked up other guys' stuff. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, was anybody I want to know what the brief looked like. I desperately need to know what they were handed. Uh yeah, they've got a dress code and it turns out it's not enough. Uh truly, truly astoundingly bad. And perhaps all the better that I know in my heart that when they were drawing this, they were like, we need Roy to look sexy. Yes, make him look cool and sexy. And someone who probably should have their own wellness check was like, okay, I can make Roy look cool and sexy. And this is what they came up with. This is Roy looking cool and sexy. Or maybe this is in Coffee. This is Roy loses a bet and he has to go to work looking like this one day. And that's why he looks so pissed off. Uh, is he has to work all day in the shop dressed like that, and he can't tell anybody that he lost a bet. And they still have to be Hugh's pants. Thank you. That was terrible. Yes, and Roy is potentially more insulted that nobody thinks, did you lose a bet? They were just like, oh, okay, I guess this is what we're doing now. Okay. Let's pick something else terrible. Uh, if we have sexy evil, we also have what I like to call Lululemon evil. Uh, Literally the only answer for this is that Envy popped into a yoga studio, uh, and decided I would never wear this running. Uh, I would never wear this running. Yeah, he can shapeshift, and this is the life that he chooses. You are not allowed to feel bad for Envy or anyone making fun of him. This is how he lives, and this is how he wants to live. Yeah, it's not even just that he could change clothes. He can change clothes on his body, presumably, given the way that we see him shapeshift and everything else. I'm too old to be wearing a crop top bra like that. I cannot let that hang out. Maybe you young people can do that, or you people that are far more fitness obsessed than me and can keep a much, much, much lower body fat percentage. Yeah, not interested in living that life. Envy can live that way, and envy can want to live that way, but I do not. Wolf, I'm going to kick you off the street, the stream. Uh, you're intentionally disturbing me. Uh, yeah, exactly. The worst part is that envy thinks this is the best you can do. You can look like absolutely anyone, and you think that this is the absolute height of 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 looks. Uh, yeah, and now all of a sudden Wrath is getting very like although he looks slightly more like a lifting bro with the way that his shirt cuts. So I just imagine that they're going to some shitty overheated gym together. Really what Envy wanted was a workout buddy. Envy will go do Pilates and Wrath will go lift and then they'll go get shakes. Yeah, it's like the weird hand warmers but like spats on your feet. Uh as a choice. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Sure is all you could say to the out to assume that that is part of the critter uniform. Yeah, I wouldn't even wear this to a run. Although I guess Bass is right in that uh I could see somebody wearing this to a run. And at a certain time in my life, I would not even have blinked an eye. Now, of course, if I showed up to a run and somebody was wearing that, I would be like, "Are you low key cosplaying Envy? I have questions." He even has a headband. Okay, now we're going to look at one of my absolute favorites. Uh, this is one of Peggy's dresses from Mad Men. Now Peggy usually dresses really badly in a way that I think is very intentional by the costumers. Uh, in this way where she is attempting to be modern and fun and also businessy, and she's kind of failing at all of them at once. And I think it's great, and I think it works for her. However, I absolutely love this dress. To the point where I've considered having a copy of this dress made. I would probably change the neckline a little bit. But I've considered having a copy of this dress made because it is so striking and interesting. Uh, you can see the insect gidets and how it offers a lot of visual interest whenever you move. So you don't need a lot to carry it off. Uh, it's one of those things that would be extremely flattering on most people, with the way that it's cut and with the way that it draws interest. Like I said, I would probably, for me, I would probably, yeah. If you could steal Roy's ascot and look much better with it, Peggy. And I think you should. I think that would be doing you both a favor. Uh, but yeah, I it's this is one of I think Peggy's best looks, and there are looks that there are looks that I think Peggy wears that I really like, or I like conceptually. The way they manage to make things that would be, I think, cute if they were styled correctly. not cute because Peggy doesn't really have a good sense of the way she looks or of how to style, is really interesting and really cool thing that they do with the character. And that's why pieces like this really work well for her. Is it is one piece and you really don't need to accessorize it. She's wearing pearls, which are basically, and I say this as somebody who wears pearls all the time, and this is part of the reason that I wear pearls. They're essentially a non-accessory accessory. Uh, they go with everything. They're easy. You can just throw them on. Uh, because you don't really need something uh crazy with this outfit. It speaks for itself without being too showy in itself. It's still very appropriate for a business setting. Yeah, I think I would have to rewatch the whole show again. I've just rewatched the first season. And of course, because it's been so long since I watched the show, I have vague memories of what happens, but I can't remember, like, am I remembering this correctly? Am I missing some detail? Something like that. Uh, but I think that Peggy's character movement is really, really interesting. And I think it might be the most interesting for me personally out of all of them. Uh, because, Peggy is about the youth of America in this time period and how there was such a major societal shift in this time period and what happens when you get left behind and all of that. It's really interesting. Anyway, yeah. Peggy's outfit is great. Yes, Peggy dresses really, really badly in the first season in a way that is very intentional and very interesting. And even in season one, there are outfits that Peggy wears where I'm like, Peggy, this outfit could be so cute if you just had any idea how to wear it. There's a wool skirt she wears all the time that I'm like, I would absolutely kill it in that skirt. That looks like a skirt that I wear all the time in the winter. But she has so little, and part of this is what she learns in advertising and everything, but like, she has so little care or idea for how things are supposed to look versus how they're supposed to work. And she gets a much better balance of that later. And I think this dress is a great example of that. Looks like it's good mid-weight too. Okay. Oh, there's one I definitely want to get to, so we're gonna do it next, so I don't lose it. The Amestrian military uniform. I so this was a really interesting thing. This actually kind of like sucked up more time than I meant to when I was looking for these pictures because not this picture. I knew I could get a full shot in this picture immediately. I've got another full shot too that's all the way down to the boots. I think about this scene a lot. But but what I was thinking about is the Amestrian military uniform has a lot of really like specific visual language behind it. And so, number one, I want to say it does kind of fuck absolutely. I think we all need to be honest with ourselves when we say this. Uh, because, you can say whatever you want about it having, coded fascist language behind it, and it definitely does. But unfortunately, it does like fuck. So I it is not that comfortable to wear, and it's also really, really, it's very anime. Like it's not practical in any way. I think maybe the most interesting part to me is so the idea of the whole idea about the skirt pants is based in this idea of she's got a lot on her mind, Wolf, okay? So this whole like police idea. So it steals a lot from like riding uniforms. I've got pictures. Let's see how well I saved them. Maybe not very. Give me one sec. I think I've still got a bunch of stuff up. Okay, sorry. It'll be just a sec. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm showing you is a modern okay, yeah, have a good night, Vass. So what I'm about to show you is a modern recreation. But it shows it in way better detail than any of the old illustrations and stuff I could find. Uh so this is trying to specifically invoke a lot of different old military uniform ideas. It is definitely not taken just from one place. Uh, but when I was talking about things that a mistress reminds me of, it reminds me of a lot of different things. Unfortunately, everything old is new again. But anyway, one of the things that it reminds me specifically of is Prussia. And so, uh, these old Prussian hussars pelisses, and the way they have the short jacket and then the part that hangs down, I don't know what happened in the visual communication uh between between this idea, which admittedly this is a very clear picture because like I said this is a modern recreation. Uh this idea of all I can imagine is that the creator must have looked at pictures like this or illustrations like this and not have really been able to conceive of it as a solid piece so much as a skirt on the pants. If I have anything mean to say about the Amestris uniform, it is that I do not understand why there is a skirt on the pants. So these long coats, of course, are about the fact that it's fucking freezing. Uh, but it was so much sicker if it was a coat. Uh, when I first started the show, I thought it was like a coat. I thought this is literally what I pictured in my head the first time I saw the uniform. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know why they have non riding officers wearing a police, since that's what they were designed for, but because it looks sick is fine. It does look sick. And but it's really interesting to see that the creator decided to do it as a sort of skirt pant idea, uh, which is really interesting to me, and I don't really understand it, I have to confess. So here's some actual old stuff from Prussia, and you can see that these are just sort of normal long coats. But anyway, the visual language is really obvious here. It's really clear where it gets its ideas from. And particularly in the way that some of the ways, not all of the ways, because it's intentionally not very clean cut, which I like about it. In some of the ways that Amestris acts, it reminds me a lot of Prussia. And in particularly in that, a military with a country attached sort of way of governance. Uh, but yeah, the Amestris military uniform unfortunately looks incredible. Uh, I think I am going to have my sister make me a better version of it, uh, as in a more high quality than the one I wore. The one I wore was not crazy good quality because it didn't have to be, because it was about me and Beeb having fun. I did eventually get my Hughes glasses, by the way. Uh, but like I said, Beeb has expressed an interest in going to a big con next year. Uh, and so my sister is a very talented seamstress. I will probably have to pay it out the ass for her, and pay even less than it's actually worth because she's going to give me the friends and family discount. I don't know. I haven't decided anything yet. It kind of depends on what we end up doing and who ends up going with me. And as of right now, I would have her make Roy's. Because as of right now, I would be going as Roy, and Midge will be going as Ed. Uh, and Jetty would be going as Al. But if things, switch up, I don't know. Uh, you'll have so much fun, Jetty. You'll have fun if Beeb is having fun, and Beeb has fun when people pay attention to her. That was her favorite part of the con, was like old people coming up to her, and like I say old people, I'm like people my age, and saying how much they loved it, and of course to Beeb, everybody was like, "It is great that I am Alicia and I am so good at it." And Jetty can vouch for in here. She sometimes still insists that we are Hughes and Alicia and must act accordingly. Uh, and so, uh, she loves to be paid attention to. All I have to tell her is that if she is tiny child Edward Elric, everybody's gonna lose their fucking mind. Uh, yeah. I mean, like, if you saw a tiny, 6-year-old child as Edward Elric, would you not lose your mind? Uh, and so yeah, Teddy was like, well, sorry, we don't really have more choices for me. And I was like, well, if we need somebody who's going to be nice to Ed even after Ed really needs a snack and a lie down, that's probably Al anyway. So uh uh so yeah, if we I will float the idea to her in a couple months, and I do not want to be sexy evil. I will float the idea to her in a couple months, and if she still wants to do it, then I will probably have my sister make me a higher quality version. Uh, so yeah, love the outfit. I really like the way that it immediately, you could say that it draws from Napoleonic stuff too. I think it's yeah, it is. I tried drawing it exactly once, and it was far above my skill level. Say what you will about Sailor Moon, but the Sailor Senshis uniforms are pretty easy to draw. Not so with these. It was annoying enough when I did that Roy and Hawkeye piece, which was basically just their sleeves. And I'm like looking at pictures and I'm like, why is there so much fucking trim? Why am I having to draw and paint all of this? Uh, so yeah. However, it is really, really cool looking. It is among the coolest looking uniforms I have ever seen in anime. Perhaps my favorite. I would have to think about it more. But perhaps my favorite. I know that Haruka is incredibly, incredibly jealous. Uh, that gets to be their super cool soldier uniform. While she's standing there in a miniskirt. Uh, Also, it was hilarious. So we saw there's a gal I know from the Y, and her and her daughters were there, and her daughters are pretty old. Her oldest is I think like 12, 13 in that age group. And she was talking to me, and she was like, "Oh, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. You've never seen it, blah 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 blah." We're chatting, and her mom comes up, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Doc," and we're talking, and her daughter goes, "She's from Full Metal Alchemist," and her mom looks at her and starts laughing and goes, "I know." And I was like, "When you're old like us, you watch like 4 anime." She was her mom was dressed as Sailor Moon. Like, so old people, we watched 4 anime. Okay, let me see. I don't know if I can possibly do better than the Roy one. Oh, but possibly I can. Let's do the companion piece for reasons. Mostly because I'm obsessed with the look on Ed's face in this one. Uh, I was really worried about Roy when I saw his. Uh, I love the fact that this is clearly like the Ed companion piece. And they're like, okay, so something is going on with Roy. What's happening with Ed? It's like they're both on the verge of their mental breakdown. Uh, and this is how they manifest it. Uh, the hilarious thing about so if you look, I'm looking back at the photo. If you look at Roy's photo, uh, his little inset shows him looking what could be construed as sad, or depressed, upset. It looks like he's losing his fucking mind. It actually puts me in mind of a thought I was having. I've often had this thought about Sailor Moon, but I was thinking if we were going to do an all adult all the time version of Full Metal Alchemist, I perhaps would want it also done in the style of Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Lestat, where one of them is very brooding and poetic and, you know, wet and sad. And the other is this absolutely like manic, ridiculous, insane, like frenetic thing. Uh, Two types of absolute fucking insanity going on here. I don't know what the level of choice was here with Ed's outfit, and I don't know where he managed to find cargo pants that have the cargo pocket on the front. I don't know if you've ever seen a set of cargo pants, but the cargo pocket is on the side. Now, there's every possibility in the world that the person who drew this art is not a lesbian, and thus is not nearly as familiar with the noble cargo pocket. I like to think that there might have been a lesbian in the office who goes, the cargo pocket goes on the side. Actually, you know what, Catherine? I love that. That makes as much sense to me as literally anything. He's like, big pockets, that's in, right? Al, who doesn't wear clothes. You look amazing, brother. Uh, just this feedback loop of absolutely shit terrible ideas. Uh, and I don't know, like, did he draw the little sigil thing on with like fabric paint? Is there fabric paint in a Mistress? Is he sitting there with like tulip puff paint? Because he has to have his little guy on him? Or how will they know? How will they know? Uh, I'm surprised friggin' Izumi doesn't rip it off of him. Uh, but yeah, I really want them to explain more than the outfit even. The outfit is bad. The outfit is really bad. It's not bad in quite the same baffling way as Roy's, which has a series of discordant elements. Of the cargo pocket being on the front. This looks like something that a ill-advised youth might wear. What I want to know about is the inset photo and why amidst, if you look at Ed's face otherwise, he looks more or less normal. He could be waiting in line at the subway for his $5 footlong. Perhaps the after is when they tell him that they are out of the Italian beef. Yeah, exactly. Like the whole thing is so chill, except for the inset photo where he is absolutely losing it. Uh, uh, what did any of us do to deserve this? Uh, I do love how anime of this time period just did whatever with promotional art. Uh, there is more promotional art that I would like to see, but on the other hand, I know, because I am familiar with the time period. I know that so much of that promo art is going to involve sexy Hawkeye, and then I'm going to have to die. Uh, I'm going to have to rowboat to Japan, walk into the Pleasant Ramen shop or coffee shop, or perhaps their apartment, whoever drew Sexy Hawkeye, and I am going to have to beat them to death with my oar. I. Yeah, see, like, this is the thing that sucks, right? Is I love Hawkeye. And I'm not saying a female character can't ever be sexy. But there are more, at least what I have seen in Full Metal Alchemist 2003 so far, there is nothing to suggest that Hawkeye would be a sexy type. Uh, she does not ooze sensuality. I think we can all agree. And I love that. I love that for her. Uh, but I know that there are, yeah, she oozes bullets. She oozes bullets and irritation. That's it. That's it. Hawkeye is just on a constant loop of load gun, fuck my life. Like, and that's great. I absolutely love that for her. But I know that if I went, not only would I not go looking for spoiler illusion, actually Jetty was spoiled for Hugh's death by a piece of art. Uh, because she was trying to be nice to me. I don't know if she told anybody this. She might have. Uh, uh, she was trying to get a cute picture of my three together, of which there are basically none. And she found a picture of them like standing at the grave with Hughes in the clouds. And she's like, oh. Uh, that's what you get for caring about me. That's what you get for caring about me. If you have a cute picture of the three of them, I would love to see it. Assuming it's not like standing over gravestones. Uh, okay. Well, unless anybody has another one that they would like to put into the chat, while we're all sitting right here, uh, I am low key losing my voice. Uh, Tomorrow, which is nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. I'm not sick, but I think I have allergies, which is interesting because I normally don't get them. But my voice has been a little on the rocks anyway. More than I talk more than this, or at least, well, no, I talk more than this, or at least this much. Like when I'm doing Misery Chord, I have to read the whole stupid thing, and it usually, I love Misery Chord. The whole stupid thing is just like accent. But I have to read the whole thing. But it normally doesn't bother my voice. So yeah. Tomorrow we have Red Garden, and so I will see you all then. I hope this was enjoyable. Uh, it's always hard when I do something I haven't done before, and sometimes it's easier for me to do this stuff in writing. So hopefully we enjoyed. Uh, when we get further along, and it can be on the blog too. It doesn't have to be a stream. I would really think it would be fun to go through a bunch of the Full Metal Alchemist promo art. I think we could have fun with that. I also have queued up for the entire time I'm gone, which is unfortunately why we didn't get to Blue Eye Samurai. I didn't even think about it. I just didn't think about it. I have 5 days of the bear queued up. It takes us, I think, partway through episode 3. So yeah. Oh, uh, absolutely. You know, I didn't even think of that, Dragon. Thank you for thinking of that. I would not have thought of that. Yes. Now that you say that, I absolutely will. When I go to do this, please, please, please remind me. You are smarter than me. Uh, yes, I absolutely love that, Wolf. That is amazing. But yeah, thank you all so much. I will be around tomorrow, and then we have, like I said, 5 days of the bear queued up, and I have tagged it this time. I thought I did last time, but apparently did not. So I've tagged the old ones, and the new ones that are coming out are tagged as of sitting in the queue today. So unless something gets crazy, have a wonderful night, and thank you all so much for joining me.